name is Bukky Latunji. I'm a former general manager of Zenithbank Plc, which is the foremost bank in Nigeria. We all know that. Well, I did all my schooling in Nigeria mostly, of course, apart from executive training. I went to Federal Government Girls College, Akure. I was in Queen's College, Lagos, and then all my tertiary was University of Lagos. Both my first degree and my second degree. I'm a pharmacologist. That was my first degree. And I have an MBA. I majored in finance. I've always been a very versatile person, so I guess I wasn't surprised that I moved, from being in College of Medicine, University of Lagos, then I just moved into finance because I've always loved economics. I've always been very good at it, so it was part of me. But in those days, if you had brain, they felt you should be doing this or you should be doing that. We didn't really have, a choice so much. In today's world, maybe I would even have veered completely away from all those things, truly, if I was being brought up today, because I'm a very creative person. I'm very artistic. So it's very likely that that is probably where I would have gravitated before, because that comes naturally to me. My passion is more in the creative area. But the good thing about creativity is it brings to bear in everything that you do. So even if you're in business, even if you're in medicine, your creativity would always show through. So I started with Zenith almost from inception. I was there like maybe a year and a half after Zenith started. So basically foundation member, and I spent almost 27 years in Zenith. Before then, I had worked in a finance company for about over three years or so, 3.5 years. So really in total, I have over 30 years of financial services experience in Nigeria. And being in Zenith, I guess it was full of very creative people. And they bring out that creativity in you, because that is just how the culture, of the bank was. So it suited me perfectly. And you could do so many things. I did so many things. I mean, from treasury to operations to full marketing, corporate banking, oil and gas, private banking. We started that, created so many products. And then, of course, to organizing CEO awards, being the chairperson of that for like 2 years. That is the kind of general experience that you have been there. I was into digital banking too, because at the early stages when the banks were just trying to go into e-money, e-wallet, I don't even know if you remember value card in those days and all that. Okay, so I was part of the things that I worked on. So it was quite fulfilling for me, because I had the chance to see so many things. And of course, by the time I was moving out, of course, I went into branch management. It meant I was a zonal head, managing branch, managing zones, and then I retired as a group zonal head in Ikeja zone, managing so many branches. So it's been a very varied experience for me, and it's been quite fulfilling. What I would say is that as a corporate executive, you're actually an entrepreneur. Because really, what does it mean? You have to have a sense of ownership of the business. You have to bring creative ideas to bear in the direction that the business will go. You have to be able to allocate scarce resources to be able to achieve that. That's basically entrepreneurship. And then, so if you move up from corporate, instead of doing it on a global basis where you have a whole lot of people all into a shared vision, when you're alone, it is just your vision. Basically, that's it. But I believe that the best training, honestly, for any entrepreneur is to have probably gone into bigger organization, learn that, because the spirit of entrepreneurship is in you. There's nothing that, if it's not there, it's not there. So it is actually in you. But when you go into a bigger organization and you learn about the structures, it helps you to be able to structure it in a way that it will be very effective. So when you come out on your own, all the discipline that you've gotten, learning how to put all the business resources together, it just becomes easy for you to do. When you see a lot of young entrepreneurs with really not too much experience, not too much direction, it's tough, because you can see all the gaps that keeps emanating from there. So for me, I don't see anything different. It's just that, yes, I'm now my own boss. That's just basically it. more or less foundation member of Zenith, so which meant that we all grew up with a vision and we all formed that culture. So the Zenith you see today, it was the work of all of us together, of course with the main visionary of the bank, who you know is the chairman today. Something I must say for the founder is that he had a knack for picking talent. He had that knack for picking talent. That I will tell you. If you look at all the foundation members of Zenith, we all had a common way that we did things. Of course, they were all very brilliant people, very exceptionally qualified people, which meant that we were intrinsically motivated. What it means to be that is your motivation comes from within to succeed. So you don't even really need somebody to like push you.
You own it.
You own it, thank you. And when you own something that is good, that is progressive, that is going to be successful, that is going to benefit so many people, it's just natural that you will key into it. And that's really just how all of us moved into it. And when you see your subordinates, it's like 20 years? How did you manage to stay in this bank for 20 years? I said we all had this common shared vision. We all had this intrinsic motivation. So if you don't like your work, stay away. That is the first thing I try to teach, people. If you don't like the work you're doing, stay away from it. You have to have love for the work. You have to, like now, Zenith, the major vision was customer service excellence. Because you're all banks, you all have homogeneous products. They're basically the same. What differentiates you from the next bank? It is your service, the mode in which you service your customers. And for us, we believed, and today I still believe it, that customer is king. Customer is the reason why I'm here. If we no customers, I shouldn't be here. So if I believe customer is king, my whole creative juices should be flowing to keep my customers enthused, not just satisfied. A satisfied customer just goes around, okay, fine, I had a good experience, it's fine. No, but I want to keep my customers enthused, make them so enthusiastic that they become a marketer for me. So they go out there, they're so enthused by what they got, they're going to go and say, excuse me, do you bank in Zenith? I had such a great, So that was the major vision. And for a lot of us, we were natural customer service people. We're people who always wanted to do excellent service. And it comes with so many things. Most important, like I said, it comes with knowledge. You have to have knowledge of the product that you're selling. That's the first thing. When you have a deep knowledge, and then you have knowledge of your customer, then you begin to make products that will make your customers happy. And so for us, we didn't do one size fits all. No. We tailor-made our products to different customers. And that's what engenders Zenith in customers' hearts till today. And that's the vision, that is the culture. It's a lot of, we all come together, we all knock heads, we all bring our creative whatever. That's it. And we come up with wonderful, products for our customers. For me, it was because we all had the same kind of outlook about what we wanted to achieve from the bank. I'm a very creative person, so I always think out of the box. I always I don't like just being in a box and everybody just thinks the same thing. For me, my major vision, retiring from active corporate work and all that, I love to impact knowledge. It's always been an integral part of me, So really, it's about impacting knowledge to people, because I found out that the knowledge gap that the young people have is so wide. So from what I have benefited from, I've had high-level trainings in Nigeria, I've had high-level trainings abroad in some of the best universities, and institutions abroad, Harvard, INSEAD. So there's a lot that we can bring to bear to educate people and help them in personal development. And I figured that what is the best way for me to do that? I don't like depending on people. I don't like okay, I'm not the typical Nigerian. So I figured, well, social media is going to be the best platform for me to do that. So you sit down and craft what you want to do, and you begin to think, okay, fine, how do I get to the people? The young people, that is their media. Where, which ones? Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. And the great thing about that for me, because I'm a very creative person, I'm an artistically inclined person. So it fits into, I keep saying that I'm a Generation X going to Generation ZZ. Because a lot of the things that some of the Generation X were like, how can? It's natural in me. Then I'm happy that, well, I've been able to keep it like that. So I can use that to inform them, for people learning in a very entertaining and fun way. Because today's world, if you are so serious about what you're doing, they switch off very fast. So that's basically where I'm starting from. In terms of my NGO, which it's a foundation I have, which is about to take off, Bukky Latunji Foundation. That really too is going to be based on education and basically helping less privileged in different ways. But my own entrepreneurial way in the social space is more of impacting knowledge in the personal development space for young people. I spent most of my career in Zenith. Before I worked in Zenith, I worked in finance company institution in those days in the very, very early 90s. I'm sure that's when you know that there was finance, But it was nice. I would say that I cut my teeth doing analytical work. That's what it gave me. It helped me sharpen my analytical skills seriously. I think that's about it. It was the time, and then of course, by the time the financial boom was kind of going down was when the second generation bank now started getting licenses. So of course I knew it was time to move to the next level since I got that basic knowledge that I wanted. Like I said, I already defined the market that I want, and I know that, and I found the medium in which, or media in which to reach them. And I would say that it's been pretty good, since I started. It's still improving. I still have to improve in the sense of, there are things that appeal to them that I've been slow to get to, like I said, because of the difference in the generation. Because they won't even listen to you unless they feel that, okay, fine, oh, she's giving us this kind of vibes, thank you, you got it. But I'm getting to those vibes. And I think, one of the things, probably answer one of your other whatever, is like the greatest challenge I had that I'm surmounting is we didn't grow up in the era of being open, talking about ourselves, putting ourselves out there. We didn't grow up like that. But this is what they live for. And truly, that's what they want. If they feel that you are like that, then they begin to open up. So I believe I'm beginning to do that. If you look at my YouTube page, we're like, okay, so now we know you. Oh, so this is who you are and all that. And so I believe that definitely it will be well received because knowledge is never lost. Knowledge is power. So you don't know where it would empower you and what you will do with it. And there's so many things that, the young people need to know that will help them later in life, even with the businesses that they're doing today. Personal development. Yeah. I don't see any challenges in government policy for social media unless they should be shut down, which can happen for political reasons. But my own take on that is it's about time that we start working with technology-driven young people to set up our own indigenous social media platform. That is what is done in China and in so many places. It's about time. Who says somebody cannot set up a platform that is totally Nigerian and you can do the kind of things you do on Instagram, you can do the kind of things that you do on Facebook, at least start. You can do something that you only speak in Yoruba, you only speak in Igbo, or all of you can speak your language together. And what will that do? It will probably push that kind of platform into the recesses of this country where you don't really hear their voices. Because the recesses in the rural communities, that is where the highest percentage of Nigerians live. But we don't hear their voice. And I tell people that education is not only about learning English. No. You can get educated in your local language. Why is it that the Russians speak Russian in their school? Why is it that Arabs speak Arabic in their school? And they learn astronomy. So who says in Nigerian language you cannot teach them? astronomy, that they cannot learn maths. That is really how to educate. And if we can utilize technology to reach that, because they all have cell phones. They've all learned how to use cell phones. And once they feel that this can get to us, and I still believe that it will be profitable for the people who would go into such businesses. So for me, that is the mitigation of any kind of challenge, in quote. But apart from that, it's just you, because the way it works is social media gives you the freedom to just show your creativity. So that's the only thing that can limit you. But you see, you need to be able to know, okay, fine, what do my people want? In what way do they want it delivered? Once you can answer, which is the same thing as where you are chasing profits. Of course, in social entrepreneur, you are not chasing profit. You have a higher cost that you're acceding to. But at the end of the day, you will still be able to make income. Basically, the first thing I will tell you is integrity, especially the kind of industry in which we were. When people know and they trust you, so that is one. Of course, being very knowledgeable, that's very important. Your knowledge will take you very far. Then the third thing I would say is, of course, hardworking. You're resilient. You're able to take on more. Those three things, And for me, I'm a very determined person. I'm very dedicated. So anything that I put myself into, I will do it in that way, like it's my own. And that's what I told you about ownership. So when you own something, nobody's going to prompt you to come and do it. You will do it. I never felt the pressure of anything like that, to be very, very frank. For me, I never saw myself like, oh, you're a man, I'm a woman. I only saw knowledge, because that's how I've always been. So for me, it's about discourse. If you have an opinion, and I have an opinion, I'm the kind of person, okay, let me hear your opinion. Let's see, the superior reasoning will prevail. And for me, it doesn't have anything to do with you are my subordinate, I'm your senior, or you're a man, I'm a woman. No, it's about superior reasoning that would move the vision of the organization forward. So that was always it for me. And so there was nothing to be strict. No, if you are in a position of authority, you have subordinates, of course there are rules which have even been carved out by the organization anyway. Everybody would stick to that. But in terms of the professional way itself, you have to let your subordinate be part of the decision-making process. And even in situations where, because there's situations where as the boss, you have to be like, well, I've heard all of you, but this is how we have to do. Why? Because that position confers on you some other maybe information that they would not know about because you are a boss. But you're going to bring it out in such a way that you try to explain why those things. So communication, I think, is the most important thing. If you communicate with people effectively, they would understand. There's no hidden agenda. This is how it is done. This is how we're doing it. So till today, I can't tell you everything, but in terms of the people that I work with, we're together till today. Even people I worked with like maybe 15 years or 20 years ago in the organization till today. Because for me, it's about, and I'm that kind of person that believes that nobody is a lost cause. And nobody is a lost cause. So there are different reasons why sometimes some people are not performing up to the standard they should perform. I'm a very empathetic person. I think that helped me a whole lot in my career. Because when you're empathetic, you can actually feel and tell. Maybe part of it is because of my medical training. So I have that thing with people that I can. So I could call you after and say, come to my office, tell me what is wrong. Is there a problem? Is there blah, blah, blah? So I tend to get into that. I get into family things and I will see how I can help you. And that you just see the transformation in the person. So how won't your work flow? It's very easy when you start a business that you had a vision and you're moving it forward. It's very easy for human beings to feel like, I own this thing. That is, I have to die with it. But no, that's not how it's supposed to be. As a visionary, you have to have people, you have to employ people who can share into your vision. That is all there is to do. So part of the talents a successful entrepreneur will have is to know that first and foremost, I can't do all the work by myself. I have to do work through people. That's one. Then two is to be able to hunt for talent that can share in your vision, so that in the long run, you would have trained them, you would have groomed them, they would have keyed into that vision. You would know which one can perpetuate what you guys have been doing, and then you position them. Because the truth is, as human beings, there's just so far we can go with whatever it is. You're going to get old, you're going to, and then how corporate work is. One day your heart might just stop beating if you don't take care. And then I always tell people that look at the bigger picture. Why do you want this vision that you have started to just die because you're dead? No. Why don't you think about, I want to leave a legacy. When I'm not here, I want this to keep going on. And for me, so it's very, imperative that succession planning, it is very important priority. And I think that from a lot of the exposure that the entrepreneurs have been getting in the recent times, it's now really known that this should happen. And then everybody is trying to see that, okay, this business should outlast me. How do I make that happen? And I believe that it's something that, it's ongoing.